Hello everyone, welcome to Redmen TV. It is starting 11 prediction time for Liverpool versus Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup. I'm your host, Ross Chanley. I'm going to try and predict what Jurgen does. I might put out the team that I'm going to put out, but I need your help as well. So get involved in the comments. I'm just going to go through from goalkeeper to the first 11 and then some of the substitutes as well. Anything you disagree on, any suggestions that you got, anything that you think we might do slightly differently to Manchester City last weekend. Anyone who impressed you against Benfica that you think deserves a start. Let's go through the conversation. And I also want to add as well, apologies for being late. We overran on another show. It wasn't me being a diva in hair and makeup, as Joe has put it in the comments. So, goalkeeper, I think Adrian deserves a place in goal. Obviously, he's not played a lot of football so far this season. Alisson Becker, I think, has played a hell of a lot. So I just think, I know it's FA Cup. We've got a couple of big games coming up. I would start Adrian in goal. Left back, obviously, Andy Robertson gets the night off against Benfica. It's just a dead cert for me. I think there's three positions where I think I'm not sure on, but Robertson is 100% one of those that will come in for me. Even though Kostas did a superb job against Benfica. Maybe throwing his name in the hat. If you think differently, please say so in the comments. You know what? I can't. I'm only messing. Are people's heads falling off, Joe? Yes, I'm only messing. Does he bollocks start? Alisson Becker goes in there. Just bants, bit of bants, harmless bants. Big Virgil van Dijk comes back in. He gets the night off against Benfica as well, obviously against Manchester City. I think we noticed against Benfica the organisation and the authority of Virgil van Dijk, not just as a presence, but I think when we had Tsimikas, Konate, Matip and Gomez at right back, I think he was Mr. Leader, particularly for that high line. Benfica court was out with that a few times, so I want him back in the side, A, because he's fit, B, because he's the best defender in the world, and C, because why the hell not? This is a position where I'm struggling because Joel Matip played Man City and then he played Benfica, which was a bit of a surprise for me. So we'll come back to this in a second. So I'm going to go with Joel Matip. And I only say this because I think, in my mind, I think he'll pick Joel Matip for this one because of the experience. Again, I thought Konate was superb against Benfica, but I think Matip plays this one, which might be a bit of a risk because he's played a lot of football, but I don't think he plays Manchester United on Tuesday. And with him rotating Van Dijk, so he's had a rest, he comes in. Matip plays, Konate gets a rest. For me, Konate will then start Manchester United, but we'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to Trent Alexander-Arnold for the same reasons as Robertson. Gets the whole night off against Benfica. Well-deserved rest and much needed. He's crucial to how we play against Manchester City. We all know how good he is going forward, his creativity, and the fact that he's going to have loads, bags of energy, hopefully, in the middle of the thing. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to check the comments, see people's heads falling off. Funny. Fabinho in there as well. I know he came on against Benfica as well, but obviously he came on after probably about just before the hour mark, I think it was. I know we didn't. His first half, Manchester City, we weren't too sure with his performance and we looked a little bit lost. But for me, he's still the best defensive midfielder in the league. You could probably argue Europe and the world in that sense as well. So him at the base, covering to come and help out Trent when Trent goes forward, go backwards when Robertson goes forward as well. And obviously when these two split apart, you've got Fabinho doing some defensive work as well, cutting out any counter-attacks and obviously Manchester City's pressing. This is the other position that I'm not sure of. So I'm going to go Thiago. Which I know he came on as a substitute against Benfica, but I think he gets the majority of that game off. I think he's crucial to us going forward, on picking passes. His vision and reading of the game is just absolutely superb, so he's a dead cert for me. The other position, and maybe even Thiago's position actually, it's certainly the third midfielder spot, which I'm not sure of, and I think it could be either of these two. Jordan Henderson starts for me. You talk about his energy and his drive, and I mentioned Manchester City's press before. I think he's vitally important to what we do in setting precedent, and we hound Manchester City down, as well as his organisation skills and his barking orders, telling people where to be and what to do. Front three, I suppose you could probably pick a few out of this, which we'll discuss in a second. I said Sunday we played Manchester City, I wanted the old school front three. I'm not sure whether Liverpool would have learnt something from this. So I'm going to Bobby Firmino up top. Because I feel like the battle was lost in midfield, but I think when you've got Bobby Firmino who can drop deep, do the defensive work, maybe sit on Rodri a little bit and just help these lads out as and when they're needed, as well as being the linchpin and a link-up play between the front two. Mohamed Salah is in the conversation. Obviously, he gets most of Benfica game off as well, so he's going to be fit and firing and wanting to score goals. And equally with Sadio Mane as well. I'll go through my substitutes bench now, which Adrian didn't even make that as well either, by the way. So this is real. So you can have 9 substitutes in the FA Cup, and you can use 5 of them, which I didn't know before until I researched it properly before doing this. Curtis Jones gets on there for me as well. This is in no particular order. I just grabbed him. Diogo Jota, even though he's a slight doubt, Jurgen Klopp said, I think he said in his press match conference that he'll assess him tomorrow. I think now is a bit too soon. He picked up a slight knock against Benfica, but he should be okay. Maybe that that affects the decision as to whether he actually starts this game. I said on the build-up show before, if there's anyone in this team that's got slight risk or slight doubt, for me, because all the games are so important, just rest them, especially when you've got players in those positions to fill the space. James Milner, he can go in there as well. Joey Gomez for defensive cover. Luis Diaz, who may be in contention to start for some others, which I'll come to in a second. Naby Keita could also put his name in a hat for the midfield. Ibra Konate and Kostas Tsimikas. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I'm good at maths. Excellent. Let me get to some of your comments that aren't all laughing at Adrian. Yeah, let's start with the centre-backs first and foremost. Van Dijk, I think, is 100%, but is anyone having the conversation that Konate, or maybe even Joe Gomez, should start at centre-back, give Matip the day off considering he played Manchester City and he played Benfica as well? Let's go through that 1 second, and then we'll do the midfield, and then we'll do your front 3. So first and foremost, in the comments, Van Dijk, and who is your other partner? Dazzler said, I would start Konate. I mean, it's easy conversation to have. I don't think he was poor against Benfica. And again, it's just that I don't think Joe Matip's done anything wrong. I think he's been superb this season. It's just the amount of football that he plays which concerns me. It's concerned me the whole season, and he's proved me wrong week in, week out. Of 90 minutes Benfica, 90 minutes against Manchester City, can he go 3 games in 6 days? 6 days, is that too much for him? Am I doubting him too much? Against the point I made before of, if he's fitness levels aren't quite right, or he's played too much football. Do you mark him for the Manchester United game? I don't know. Jurgen Klopp, what will he do? I think he'll stick with tried and tested. It's Manchester City, who will be interesting to see how they line up, considering that they played us, then they played Atletico, got run ragged and kicked about a little bit, travelled away to Spain, whether they're exhausted, and you probably could use the freshness of a Konate in that back line. Phil Fazawaza says Matip all the way. China 1000 says go strongest 11, keep the quadruple dream alive. Joel looks a bit leggy at the moment. Dazzler, yeah, that's the point I was making there before. And Adam Fitzgibbon, Konate for pace. Well, Chris Wogboy says Gomez unlikely, but his pace on with Van Dijk could be better against Manchester City. Yeah, I think my only concern with Joe Gomez is his lack of football that he's played. And don't get me wrong, like when him and Van Dijk were a centre-back partnership for the title charge, and obviously 18-19 as well. Gomez was imperious, and I think he's done a good job at right-back as well, filling in for Trent. I just don't know whether you risk him in case you need him for later on in the season, but, we'll have to go and see. And Zlatan Ibra says Matip is a better option. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Joel Matip for that one. Nothing wrong with Konate, but I think that is the back line I want to see, and I'm completely fine with that as well. Midfield 3, I think we can all agree Fabinho starts this one, but give me your other 2 and some reasonings why. I said before, Thiago, he often finds himself in this position here, like not defensively, but when we're on the ball. I just think his creativity and then pinging balls out left to Mane, if it is Mane, and right to Diaz, even to through balls to Bobby's feet. Again, if it's going to be him, I just think he's crucial to the way that we build up play and the way that we can hurt Manchester City. So I think I'm more convinced with him. Part of me wants to see that, but I've said this on the past few shows today and yesterday, Wednesday, Benfica game. That feels too imbalanced to me. That feels like it's too attacking. Like, okay, creativity, Naby picking up the ball, driving balls forward and running. But what does that leave you exposed to? I mean, that's a great back 5. But when you've got De Bruyne, you've got Mahrez, you've got Sterling, you've got Jesus, you've got Bernardo Silva, I think you're inviting a little bit of too much trouble there for me. So I think I'll probably go Fabinho, Thiago, and I think I'm going to stick with Jordan Henderson. Again, you know, if things aren't going our way, we need to chase the game, and you're looking for something a little bit different. You could swap Thiago and put Naby Keita on from the bench. 6 times says Naby for me too. Graham Bennett for me. Keita, Thiago play. Hendo bench. Yeah, that's completely fair enough. Oliver Hicks says Wembley's a big pitch. Get the 3 speeders on with Mo, Sadio, and Diaz. Okay, we'll come on to them in a second. Oh, De Bruyne is rumoured to be injured, but I don't believe anything that Pep says. Liverpool for life says Keita and Hendo for more energy. Yeah, equally, you could do that. I mean, I definitely see Thiago starting this one, but Naby Keita, did he play, 90 minutes against Benfica? Do you trust him to go again twice in the space of a couple of days? Is he earmarked for Manchester United? Would that be a better midfield against Manchester United? I don't know, but I'm going to ignore the comments, and I'm going to go with Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson. Right, front 3. I've gone old school front 3. As I said before, I thought that would be the one that was started against Manchester City in the Premier League. Hindsight, it looked like it didn't work out first and foremost. I think Bobby is the one, as I said before, dropping deep, helping out the midfield as and when that he needs to. But with him doing that, and then again, if you've got pace and trickery, as the comment said before, in a big pitch at Wembley, you've got these 2 lads going forward. And also, he's just scored 2 goals against Benfica. I think Bobby plays his best football when Bobby's full of confidence. Now, he's just bagged 2 goals. He's going to be on cloud 9. He's going to back himself to score a few more goals, hopefully. Is that a good enough reason to start playing him? I said before, Jota is another one in that conversation. You could play him there instead, but if he's a slight doubt, you just turn around and say, do you know what, mate, just even not 100%, you can come off the bench as and when you need to. The problem with Jota is, and Bobby, the conversation that people have been having all season, like when it comes to big games like this, who do you start, who's better? And Jota doesn't necessarily have to have the best game or be heavily involved in games of football. And he can score you goals and can be heavily involved. Last night he gets an assist as well for Bobby, full enough, when he was playing on the left. But when you've got, let's say, these 5 as your options, and most of them can play, maybe not Bobby, but the rest of them can play across the front 3. It's not a bad position to be in, is it really? With Bjorn saying Elliott could be a good option on the right too. Yeah, he's not played a lot of football recently, Elliott. I'm not sure that I'd trust him to come in and start this game. Not to be wrong. Joshua Roy says 4-2-3-1. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? In fact, you could do 4-2-3-1 actually. I mean, it might be like that in parts of the game. If you needed to, you need to soak up pressure for 10-15 minutes, or maybe even less than that, which I don't think we did against Benfica, of just shutting up shop and taking control of the game again when things are going a bit wild. Yeah, I think it's all pretty fluid, isn't it, with Liverpool? So I think we can afford to mix that up a little bit. LTMLFC says, Ross, what are you doing, man? I'm just having a chat about the starting 11, that's all I'm doing. Yusuf S says, I want Salah, Bobby and Mane. That's what I think it will be. But what Jurgen does will remain to be seen. The only other person in the conversation, and this is a wild shout which I made on the build-up show, which part of me wants to see, is these 3 up top. And again, to the comment before about the amount of space that's at Wembley and places that we can run into. Diaz played on the right against Benfica, or at least he started out on the right-hand side against Benfica, but these 2 coming off.
I didn't catch that.
Against Benfica. He's an unknown quantity, and I'd like to see him battle with Cancelo down that right-hand side. What can he do? Can he turn him inside out? Can he make him guessing he doesn't know what he's going to go and do? Through the game, you can switch it up. I want to see Salah maybe change things up a little bit as well. Not short on confidence, because I think he backs himself, but obviously it's a goal drought by Salah's standards. Maybe stick him in the middle and let him do something different. And Mane's got bags of pace as well. So that's my outside shout, which could potentially happen in this game. Let's go to a few more comments. Spirit says Diaz, Mane and Salah, which is what I've got on the board there. NA says Bobby, Salah and Mane, still our best front 3. Yeah, I think I have to agree with that one. Salah central should give Bernardo and Rodri some work to do. Yeah, keep their eye on there. I'd 6 times say Diaz, Mane and Salah up top. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. He's up to 4-1-R, says Keita for Hendo and Diaz, Mane and Salah up front. Okay, because I thought this was a wild shout, but clearly it's not. I would like to see that. Maybe not in that iteration. I think maybe, do you think Salah's better off the left and maybe try Diaz down the middle or put Diaz down the left, and you could see Mane in the middle, which he's done before, probably a bit more than Mohamed Salah, to be fair to him, and then you've got that front three there. He's tried and tested, he knows what he's doing on the left-hand side. And even mid-game, you can mix it all up. I think I quite like that. I think that excites me a little bit, to be honest. But I think there's a time and a place for it. I'm not sure it's Manchester City. So I think I'm going to go with the old school front three. And we'll see how we go on that. Because I think this is what Jurgen Klopp will do. But it's such a nice position to be in. I've not done one of these shows for a while. But then you've got, said, 9 substitutes, and you can use 5 of them. So, if Manchester City are tiring, you bring on Naby Keita, you bring on Luis Diaz, you bring on Jota, hopefully he's fine. You need to shore things up, you can bring a Konate or a Gomez on, and you want that bit of experience, and you've got James Milner. So I think Liverpool are in a strong position for this game. I'm going to go some more comments before I shoot off. Abby says Mane, Firmino and Salah. Again, we've got on there. Bjorn says I think Mane, Bobby and Salah will start. Sabine says Klopp should consider changes to the defensive high line. No. It's got us this far all season on the course for quadruple. Don't change it now. I know we didn't like it last night and we don't like it against Manchester City, but these boys all know what they're doing and I'm fine with it. Just before I go, we have just released a new t-shirt which is out now on Redmen merch. You've all heard, if you've not heard it, I don't know where you've been, the new Jurgen Klopp song that I'm so glad Jurgen is a Red. So if you go onto redmenmerch.com right now, we've got kids t-shirts, we've got women's t-shirts, and we've got men's t-shirts available as well. Loads of different sizes, loads of different colours. Obviously it's a Beatles inspired theme to go with the song. Head over there now, there's all sorts of stuff you can go there as well. Accessories, books, DVDs, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, everything there. But that Jurgen Klopp design is sensational and it's just dropped in the past 20 minutes. So you are one of the first people to go know about it. The link for that will be in the description below. So go and pick that up if you can. Keep your thoughts and comments coming on this as well. If you think I've got this team wrong, which Jurgen will go for, tell me so in the comments. If you do something different. If you mix up the front three a little bit more, maybe I said before you put Diaz in there, keep your comments coming and I'll get to them over the weekend. Enjoy the game. Thank you very much for listening and for watching. And I'll be back on Saturday with Errol for the watch along and the team news as well. So come back on Saturday, probably about 2:30, I think the team news comes out, to see if I've got this right.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want even more Redmen TV goodness in your lives, head on over to redmenplus.com right away. You'll get more in-depth analysis, more features, more documentaries, more interviews, basically more Liverpool goodness. It's like Netflix for Reds. You will love it. We love it. Head on over to redmenplus.com and sign up for Redmen Plus.